with the CBC News Break. Education officials were forced to close the Lawrence T. Gay Primary School after a skeleton staff turned up for classes this morning. Yesterday, classes were held on the outside due to an ongoing environmental problem. The Barbados Union of Teachers says some students and teachers have fallen ill because of that problem. President Pedro Shepherd tells CBC News just 6 teachers were on the Spooners Hill compound and over 400 students. Now, the full complement of teachers on a normal school day is close to 40. Well, the BUT says the environmental problems persist on the Clark block, which consists of 10 classrooms. Barbadian men are responding to calls to get tested for prostate cancer, but they're coming forward too late, already presenting symptoms of the disease. This from consultant urologist Dr. Jitu Nebnani, who stresses that early detection and screening is vital to the fight against prostate cancer. He was among the presenters at a seminar on the truths and myths of prostate cancer at the Grand Salle of the Central Bank. His topic: prevention, screening and detection of prostate cancer.
Problems we do face in Barbados, a lot of patients present at a later stage of prostate cancer, meaning it's not at an early stage where we can treat and cure. It's at a stage where it's more difficult to treat or it's spread already. So in Barbados, prostate cancer is a significant problem. We have a very high mortality rate, so that's a high death rate of prostate cancer. We have a high incidence of prostate cancer.
Dr. Nebnani says in Barbados, prostate cancer is one of the most common causes of cancer deaths in men.
Up to 100 men every year die of prostate cancer. Now, there are lots of reasons for this. One of them is probably because they wait till they actually have symptoms to go to the doctor. Now, Dr. Charani will tell you women come to the doctor much sooner than men, because we men don't like to go to the doctor. I don't like to go to the doctor, but that's just how we're built. That's why we will talk about early detection and screening and maybe even prevention.
And Dr. Sophia Edwards-Bennett of the United States, during her presentation, says cancer has been projected to increase in the coming decades. She says 40% of cancer cases are preventable. The medical professional adds that diet is extremely important to prostate health and preventing this type of cancer.
Diet rich in fruits and vegetables has been shown to be associated with a lower risk of developing prostate cancer. Obesity as a corollary is not linked to the development of prostate cancer, but in some studies, it's actually been correlated with high-risk prostate cancer. So it's not necessarily causative, but when patients who are obese are diagnosed with prostate cancer, it's usually high risk versus low risk.
A doctor wants more people who've been diagnosed with hypertension to monitor their condition at home. Dr. Kenneth Connell says it will help to combat the phenomenon of white coat hypertension, where a patient's reading is distorted because it is taken in a medical setting. He was speaking just before CIBC First Caribbean handed over 40 blood pressure machines through the Heart and Stroke Foundation to a special hypertension clinic at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Dr. Connell says one major advantage is that patients can more frequently get a more accurate reading of their condition.
This is ownership of health. The doctor now has a more reliable appreciation of blood pressure control, so he now has a more accurate target to work on. And of course, seeing is believing. And so observing home blood pressure control whilst on medication is seen by the patient, as well as a lack of control when medications are stopped, intentionally or unintentionally, just to see if the pressure is getting better to come off these damn tablets.
Meantime, Donna Wellington, CIBC First Caribbean's managing director, explained why they got involved.
These machines are to be presented to high-risk patients who need to be monitored at home so that they can keep track of their readings on a daily basis. We at CIBC First Caribbean, through our Trust Foundation, thought this blood pressure machine in every household initiative was a very great idea, as we strive to educate Barbadians on the dangers of uncontrolled chronic diseases and the importance of careful monitoring.
Well, police are asking for assistance from members of the public as it investigates incidents of rock throwing along Bishop's Court Hill, St. Michael. Just on Wednesday, a transport board bus was damaged. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Assistant Superintendent David Welch, tells CBC News other motorists were also targeted. He's appealing to the perpetrator or perpetrators to stop, as it can result in injury or serious damage. Well, 2 young St. Michael men held after one allegedly snatched a tourist bag on Browns Beach has been remanded to Dodds Prison until March 17th. 21-year-old Jeremy Shea Weeks of Welch Terrace and 19-year-old Shad Chandler of the Ivy appeared in the District A court yesterday to face the charge of theft. They're also jointly charged with theft of another visitor's property. That incident also took place at Browns Beach on February 15th. In other news now, Barbados is looking to ensure that at least 5 of its productive sectors lead the way in helping to create a green economy. This information from Minister of Labour, Senator Dr. Esther Bayer, at the start of a 2-day workshop on the green economy at the ministry's Warren's office complex. Dr. Bayer says the green economy pathway for Barbados is outlined in a Barbados Green Economy Scoping Study that's been presented to Cabinet. The workshop is being hosted by the Ministry of Labour in association with the International Labour Organization.
This is a roadmap for policymakers and businesses for greening of 5 key industries: tourism, agriculture, fisheries, building and housing, and transportation. That too is a very useful document, and one the Cabinet, as I said, all members of the Cabinet, we did have a presentation on that document because it is something that will inform our movement in the future towards this green economy. And I'm sure that in the next few weeks and months, all of you will be familiar with this document.
The Labour Minister says Barbados has taken note of the urgent need for a sustainable environment. And she says the mindset needs to change to ensure some of the most crucial jobs embrace the green economy.
Green jobs creation is an important factor in the just transition to a green economy. We must ensure that education and training in green sectors are given priority within our national development plans, and adequate funds are allocated for this training. A lot of groundwork has been done, as you've heard from all our presenters. A lot of groundwork has been done in Barbados on the green economy to date. And now we have to take it to the next level, that of implementation across the board.
Well, in the wake of recent attacks on livestock by dogs, the Barbados Agricultural Society is cautioning about letting animals out to roam. In the most recent attack, a farmer lost a number of sheep, including pregnant ewes. Although the matter is nothing new, Chief Executive Officer of the BAS, James Paul, says it can be very frustrating for farmers to lose their livestock. He says the Animal Control Unit can play a critical role.
The fact of the matter is that if any individual has animals that they cannot deal with, they can call them. They don't need to leave them out there to roam like that. And I think, householders who have dogs should be mindful of the fact that they cannot just leave them to go on people's land and attack livestock in the manner that they're doing, because it means an economic loss. I don't think we understand that in this time of economic stringency, that farmers are looking to these animals as a means of earning an income. And when we allow these dogs to attack those livestock, it means then that they're losing income as a result of that.
Barbados is preparing to defend its Caribbean Junior Minister of Tourism title. And now the search is on for the successor to Chloe Walker, who dominated a field of her peers from around the region to become the Caribbean champion last October. It will be done through the Barbados Tourism Product Authority's annual speech competition. It serves as a tourism awareness initiative targeting secondary school students between the ages of 14 and 17. Interested students should be nominated by their respective schools to the Barbados Tourism Product Authority no later than Friday, February 26th. Well, time for a break now, but when we come back, regional and international news. Stay with us.